Mikko Rantanen has done this 9 times now, and he's getting exceedingly good at it. Avs win 4-2 over the Nashville Predators. Well, that was cold, much like the Avs started this hockey game. You could pretty much cut and paste my conversation about the first period for the Avs for half, maybe more of the game so far this season. They start slow. They just do. It's getting frustrating. And that's not bad enough. They're regularly giving up goals in the first minute or two of the game, and this one was no different. Start of the game, a rinned-in puck. Taves is clearly the first one on it. You want him to make a better play with the puck, and he just bobbles it and then gets outworked. And LA has a possession that they probably never should have had. The Avs with the numbers in the corner, 3-on-2. You need them to win that puck on the follow-up. They do not, and this game just falls apart. It's a quick little one-touch pass here. That's a nice play from LA, but ultimately, Kempe still shouldn't be able to get on this. The initial shot is from a very tough angle, and Georgiev even makes the initial save. The problem is, when he makes the save, he has no idea where this puck is. You can't see it here, but it's lying right in front of him. He doesn't recognize it, and Kempe's able to sneak in and throw it in the net. It was a tough night for Devon Taves. He's got to get better with the puck management. Right now, it has not worked out well for him. Even if it isn't all entirely his fault, as we'll see with the Kings' second goal, you still need better out of that guy if he's going to be a top-pairing dude for you. But that being said, Georgiev's got to track that puck. He really does. This first period was at least a little bit different. It was not all bad. The Avs were able to find an answer to that goal relatively quickly. For what was a sludgy game, the Avs still found moments of quick start breakout offense. When they win a puck, it's a couple of quick touches and they are gone. Mikko dropping it to McKinnon, and suddenly it's a 3-on-2 up the ice. It's a bad pass from McKinnon there, no doubt. But a break goes their way as the puck comes out into loose space, so McKinnon kind of is able to leave it for Mikko there. Not the prettiest play, but it creates enough room for Mikko to throw a puck towards the net. And after that puck gets thrown toward the net, a rebound springs out. Who's in the best spot on the ice? Arturi Lehkonen. The good stick man himself is able to find this rebound and jam it home. I'll be honest, I think the Kings were pretty sloppy with the puck for a lot of tonight, but it's still a good job of the Avs to jump on opportunities and make them count. It's something they haven't done enough of this season, and they did that effectively in this game. It was also a tale of what's to come with Mikko throwing pucks towards the net. That was going to get a lot better. But what did not get better is this first period for the Avs. While that goal was nice, and it felt like the Avs were woken up and ready to go, they went right back into a sleepy, snoozy first period that did not have a lot of good hockey, including 2 power play opportunities for the Avs where they did not even manage a shot on goal. The power play was downright terrible in this game for Colorado, even beyond the first period. Is bound to cool off a little bit. The Avs had been one of the hottest power play teams in the league to this point, but when it looks bad, that's far worse than the actual results, because if you play like that, your power play isn't good. We know the Avs are capable of better. A sleepy period leads to breakdowns, and Colorado ultimately still finds a way to lose the first. A bit of a sloppy breakout for the Avs causes a neutral zone turnover. It's just a dump-in from LA. This should not be dangerous. Taves goes back and collects the puck. I'm pretty sure this is Makar's fault, just based on the Avs system, as Makar just kind of floats in front of his own crease here, and Taves is going to reverse this puck, expecting Makar to be in behind the net. When Makar is not there, the play falls apart immediately, because it's a hard reverse from Taves, so what should be a routine play turns into a turnover for the Avs. That right there is rough, and then this play just goes totally sideways by Colorado. Makar chasing the puck carrier here, that's fine, all good. Ivan moving in behind the net to cover Kempe in behind, and Taves sliding over towards the middle of the ice. Now, because Ivan decided to play so deep, it leaves the Avs in a very awkward situation, where Taves now has to cross over and take the puck carrier that, in theory, should be Ivan's guy, with the setup that they're currently running. That's being Ivan the F3, usually the deeper flares to your defenseman. Ivan just completely misses his coverage. If he's going to take Kempe there, he needs to be more aggressive on either getting into this passing lane and taking it away, or playing more on the man in the first place so Kempe can't just freely slide to the back post. It's a total collapse of their defensive systems. If it was intended to play this way, you would like to see Kovalenko slide down and help on that backside, but I'm very confident it's not intended to play this way, and Taves isn't able to intercept this pass on his own. Ivan is out of position, and Kempe is got a freebie on the back door. Been a few times now in the last couple of games where the Avs have had a defensive breakdown where their entire structure just completely shatters to pieces and there's no recovering it. Over the last few years, the Avs have continued to run very complicated defensive systems with a lot of decision-making put on the players, a lot of rotations, and a lot of complicated stuff on who they need to be covering. That's what it looks like when people get lost and they don't know what they're doing. On the one hand, you expect the players by Game 17 of the season, they should have a better grip on the systems than that. On the other, I do think there's an argument to be made that at times the Avs systems are too complicated and things need to be simplified. At some points, you're just asking too much of too many players to make too many decisions, and it's bound to fall apart. With that being said, again, Taves better puck management, and that play never happened. So, the Avs play a bad first period. They get outshot 9-5. It's not good, but the rest of this game was good. And I got a little bit fooled at first. At the start of the second period, this hockey game was still slow. It was a little bit sludgy. It felt like the Avs didn't really have great legs. Pretty early on in the second period, the Kings get a chance where Kevin Fiala rips one off of the post. It does not go in the net, and it stays a one-goal game. And from that point on, the Avs basically give up nothing. In fact, in the second period, they literally give up nothing. The LA Kings do not register a shot on goal in the second period. The Avs put up 13. It wasn't the fastest blast of an attack from Colorado. It was more slow, methodical, slowly wearing LA down. The Avs just completely smothered this team, and it took the majority of the second, but they finally broke through. A dump in from LA here as the Avs are getting a half change. Cale goes into this puck battle along the wall and just wins it clean. And I'll admit, Mikko Rantanen is playing a bit risky here, but Mikko Rantanen has just come onto the ice off of the bench for the Avs, and he cherry picks a little bit. He floats a little bit. He trusts Cale Makar to win this puck battle, and Cale ultimately does. And because of that, Mikko is now in behind the defense. And if you had anyone to make this stretch pass, Cale Makar is probably the guy to do it. He hits Mikko in stride perfectly. Mikko plays it perfectly too. Sneaks in behind and plays the backside on his back hip with the King covering him. There's just no way Mikko's ever going to get knocked off the puck with the play playing out as it did. It's a partial break, even while getting hooked. Mikko with a beautiful shot. When they keep the game within one, all it takes is one play. This team is just too talented. They're gonna make it happen most of the time. That was the only goal of the second period, but the dominance kind of continued through the third for the Avs. They would go through the first 5 minutes or so of the third, still not giving up a shot to LA, and they would only give up 6 through the third period. So that's 40 minutes of hockey with just 6 shots on goal. It's really like 42 minutes if you go back a couple of minutes into the first period. The Avs just gave LA nothing. As Colorado continued to be in control of the game, you could just kind of feel the game shifting more and more into their favor. And look, the Avs caught a break here. Darcy Kemper looked like he pulled something in one of his legs and had to leave the game. That sucks. I don't want to win hockey games that way, and I'm sure the Avs don't want to win hockey games that way. You would much rather have had Kemper stay healthy and beat this team clean. But that's something entirely out of the Avs' control. There's nothing they can do about Kemper getting hurt. Dave Rittich comes in, and the Avs are able to beat him in goal. The Avs are in a partial change situation, and Logan O'Connor gets to work along the boards. He's able to buy enough time for Yoel Kiviranta to get off the ice and allow Mikko Rantanen to get on, simply by pinning this puck. It's a very intelligent play from a guy who hasn't played great this season, still finding a way to be effective. Eventually that puck comes loose, it gets shot out. That's probably more luck than skill from McKinnon throwing that puck out to safety, but Mikko happens to be there, and he turns on beast mode. What we haven't seen enough, just too strong to be knocked off the puck, finds the area in the middle of the ice that's dangerous, and then just slips this one 5-hole. I feel for Rittich. I do. That's a really tough spot to come into a game late in the third period with a weak team. Let's face it, the LA Kings were not playing well in front of their goalie, and then to give up a goal on the first shot. With that being said, it's Mikko Rantanen shooting that puck. It's funny how the best players find a way to score those types of goals. Is it a good goal? No. But if Logan O'Connor shoots that, he's probably not quite deceptive enough. He's probably not quite dangerous enough, or doesn't shoot the puck quite hard enough, or just in the perfect spot, and Rittich closes the 5-hole and it doesn't go in. The players like that, with Mikko's skill and ability, he just finds a way to slip pucks through spots that maybe they probably shouldn't. That gave the Avs the lead, and they close out this game expertly. LA really wasn't even all that dangerous once they fell behind in this game. The couple of saves that needed to be made were made by Georgiev, and ultimately it's the empty netter for Mikko that gets him the hat trick and has me in my current state. This was not a complicated hockey game. It also wasn't a particularly interesting hockey game. The Kings registered just 15 shots on goal in the entire game. That is not many. The Avs registered 26, which is respectable, but not a ton. What it was effective hockey from Colorado, particularly with the lineup that they're currently working with. We've talked about it a lot, but these slow style, easy pace kind of games work a lot better for a lineup for the Avs that has depth that is pretty much designed to slowly grind out games instead of score high-octane offensive type stuff. It's not really the Avs' main style of play, and it's not a style I expect to continue, especially since the Avs are getting guys back next game. But it's another feather in the Avs' cap, showing that if they have to, they can play this way, and they can do it effectively. Yeah, LA played probably one of their worst games of the season, but the Avs also helped them in that regard. They didn't give them the openings in the second and third period to get out of that little slump. They shut it down. At this very moment, the Avs have the leading point getter in the NHL, Nathan MacKinnon, who had a 3-point night here. They have the leading defensive scorer in the NHL, in Cale Makar, who also had a point in this game. And they have the leading goal scorer in the NHL. Technically, he's tied for that, but Mikko Rantanen with 12. Yeah, those three guys are about to get a lot of help. The Avs are going to be scary really soon. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. I am Rudo, and Mikko, you know what? For the 9th time, I'm cool with getting wet.